people. Turn that music down. Thank you. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Yes, I'm late. I know. Just because it's Tuesday, which is a day that ends in Y. Can you hear me okay? I'm going to turn this up a little bit. I just realized I was recording some stuff and I had to turn the gain down. So anyway, happy Tuesday. Again, it's like, it was Groundhog Day not that long ago. Well, it's still Groundhog Day because we're going to talk about more immigration stuff because that's what everyone's talking about. And there's a lot of big news about it. It's this bill. This bill is insane. And so we're going to talk about that more. Just let's stop this stuff. Thank you, Johnny. And yeah, let's just get into it because I don't have time. Let's play the intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only P-Dog Knight.
Yep, that would be me. Stop the music. Good damn morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as P-Dog Knight on the internet, and welcome back to the P-Dog Knight channel, where we are going to talk about immigration for the rest of the year, because apparently the Hail Mary by the powers that be, it was in trouble from the start, but apparently now it's even in trouble in the United States Senate. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about a bunch of stuff that we got going on, and but we'll do that after we talk about the things that you guys have put on my desk. Gunfox and Ty Alexander. By the way, Gunfox61, thanks for dropping Hamilton in the tip jar during the intro or the preview. That makes you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you, sir. A waste of time article. We'll do those articles early. And also Ty Alexander dropped some rage bait. God, this is oh my gosh. Why do I subject myself to this? Because that's what I do. Anyway, let's say hi to everybody and get it going. Oh, and also Tall Person, thank you for dropping a tres, uno, dos, tres, in the Rumble Rants, who says, happy pay a compliment day. You want a compliment? I've already paid you. What more do you want? Well, there, Tall Person, you are tall and lovely. So there you go. I'm paying a compliment to you. Thank you for sponsoring the show. And also oh yes, I got this one already, but we'll get there. Oh, what? Okay, hang on. By the way, rest in peace, Toby Keith. That is in the. Hey, what the hell that happened there? Hold on. That's supposed to show up there. It's supposed to be over here. Thank you, Gunfox. Another Hamilton in the tip jar. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And you got a little glimpse of Nicki Minaj there because, that's what you get when you drop a Hamilton in the tip jar. There's a whole bunch of different things you could throw on the screen if you do a donation. pdog9.live or the link in the. Is the link showed up yet? Yeah, there's one here. We'll pin this to the top if you want to sponsor the show, if you want to make a donation or whatever you call it these days, a super chat or whatever. There's the best link to do it over on YouTube, the Streamlabs Superstar sponsor link. You could be the Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day right now, held by Gunfox61. God, he's up at $20 though. I don't know if he's going to beat that today. Anyway, so let's say hi and get this thing started. First in chat over on YouTube, Mr. Avocados Diablo gets the bell. Mr. Johnny on the spot. Also, Phantom Dogfart, the greatest name on the internet. Good morning also to Tall Person, Mike Savage, Blarg. And there's probably a few more. How many people over on Rumble right now? This is six people, 5 people watching on Rumble. Okay, well, we'll see how that turns out. On YouTube, first in the chat, and even beating me into the chat today. Again, Avocados Diablo gets the bell. think you're funny, don't you? I don't know how you beat me today because I didn't have any glitches or anything. You just like, you were there, man. It's like crazy. Also, good morning to Mr. Tire Alexander, the gentleman Lich. Also, Kara Soldier, Patio Furniture, GDSOB. Good morning, Tyler F. Mike Savage, Blarg. Aaron Meredith, Maddie's in the house. Also, Sure You Gospel, Gunfox61, the outstanding administrator of the P-Dog Night Discord server. Also, Tall Person's over there. And Simon Wilkins, welcome. Select a Boy. Yeah, and boy. Zed the Snarky, my favorite Canadian Jaeger ponies here. Let's see. Darren Root, what's up? Good, nice to see you back. Lord Stanhope's in the house. There's quite the crew here today. Holy smokes! Anon 123 123 123. Well, I'm trying to figure out something clever to do that. Anon 1 2 3. That could be one. That could work. It's a little wordy, but whatever. And Amazing Disgrace. Good morning. And I think that's everybody. Did I miss anybody? I hope I didn't miss anybody. Anna Lynn. Oh, Anna Lynn's here. Nice to see you. Okay, cool. I think I got everybody. And if I didn't, I'll figure it out eventually. 30 people here already. 14 likes. Hit the like button. Share the stream. Same on Rumble. Hit the like button. Especially on Rumble. I want to see if we can get the likes up to 30 on Rumble, which would be a trick because there's only 7 people of it. Wait, what happened to the screen? What the hell happened there? What the? No. What? Oh, there it goes. Is that it? Is this it? I'm in the middle of a stream. No, that's YouTube. What the hell? Oh, that's a YouTube studio. Oh, I see what happened. There we go. Yeah, there's only 6 on Rumble. Well, that's okay. Let's get started. Okay. So, by the way, also thank you to the people who have already shared the stream. Share the stream. Share the stream. Share the stream. That would include Somnambule Nation, Tall Person, Maddie, Tall Person again. Wait. Oh, you did. I see. You did one for each. Also, thank you, people retweeting my tweet, Man Squatch, Somnambule Nation, Tyler F, and then also Man Squatch did this, reposted this. Okay, fantastic. Oh, I see. You're reposting other people doing it. So good. I appreciate that. It does help. We get a few new subscribers every so often here, and we appreciate it. Wait, I only had a few bites left to my apple when you announced my name. Well, does it like? I hope you didn't like. I didn't hope you didn't like have an apple mishap when that happened. So let's see here now. Okay, that's everything I need to do there. All right, let's just talk about things that are trending. Again, thank you, Gunfox61, Tyre Alexander, and Anti Alexander for already sponsoring the show. Greatly appreciate it. Why? Oh, that's a different article. I'm like, that has nothing to do with Toby Keith. Oh, yes. We'll do this article too. This is the main topic of the day anyway. All right, here we go. Things trending today. First, Mr. Carl, well, it wasn't trending today, but I meant to mention it the other day. The actor, Carl Weathers, has passed away. A couple days ago. He was an actor. Obviously, he was in Rocky. He was in Predator. He was in Happy Gilmore, and so yeah, it was kind of well, they're saying it's a died suddenly situation. I don't know all about all that. All I know that is, he had an impact on life. He had the famous. No, that wasn't him. I was gonna say that's Arnold's line. We lost the body. Anyway, rest in peace, Carl Weather, Apollo, the original Apollo Creed. A fun, great actor. But was he just always in fun movies? Absolutely, he was great. So rest in peace, Apollo Creed. Also, by the way, today is I'm gonna take this off the screen. Today's Bob Marley's birthday. Bob Marley, born this day. What year was that? Born this 1945. Bob Marley was born, so he would have been what, 80, almost 80 years old, something like that. Yeah, he would have been almost 80. And lots of people. What is this? I'll put it on this. Oh, here. I'll put the picture. Here's the picture of Bob Marley. If you don't know who that is, there's Bob Marley. Okay. And then, but as I scroll down here, today on Bob Marley's birthday, as a Rastafari, I send special thanks to Harry and Meghan for coming to Jamaica to honor our Rastafari hero and also Jamaica. I'm grateful for the respect you show to our culture, our music, and our nation. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel all right. Anyway, so happy born day to Bob Marley. Okay. Also, kind of, I'm on the. Why am I off center here? Okay. I'm centered on the screen because I had to move over because I'll have to readjust this thing. By the way, I have a new background here, more newsy background. But I kind of like my flag too, but I just thought I'd change it up a little bit. I got some other things to change up. But anyway, also today, and oh, I see, I have Carl Weathers there twice. That's why. That explains it. So this should be on home. This should be there. This should be in notifications. This should be on home. Okay, I got it. Another significant person, another person who died today, or who has passed away, country music legend Toby Keith, as Gun Fox mentioned in his Streamlabs super chat. He died today, 62 years old, from cancer. I didn't realize I'm almost as old as Toby Keith. Whoa, what's going on there? That was weird. My monitor went black. And once you go black, you know. Anyway, here it is. Country singer Toby Keith, dead at age. Why is this? Okay, I redid all this, and apparently I didn't do it that well. Is this gonna work? No. Oh, I see. It's way over the left. We'll just stay there. Country music legend Toby Keith has died at the age of 62 after a battle with stomach cancer that should have been a cowboy singer. Died on Monday night, surrounded by his family, according to official statements shared on social media. Toby Keith passed away peacefully last night on February 5th, surrounded by his family. The post shared on X read, "He fought his fight with grace and courage. Please respect the privacy of his family at this time." And so he was, he's been going through chemo for a while, and there's the post that they put on X. Now, a lot of people, especially on the more right side of the political spectrum. Good morning, Cannibalistic Wizard, by the way. People on more of the right side of the spectrum of politics, like Toby Keith, because he was very pro-American, very red, white, and blue type. So several Twitter topics are trending. Red Solo Cup is one of the, I think it was one of the big songs that he did. Also, courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue, which is a lot of people are posting that. A lot of people are posting, red. There's two things trending. Courtesy of the red is trending, and then white and blue is trending. So it's supposed to be one long song, but that's that one song where he talks about put a boot in your ass. That song, you know. Which was during the Gulf War, or maybe the Iraq War. Rest in peace, legend. Again, that is trending. A lot of people talking about Toby Keith. Now, what is that? Oh, that's him at a football game. So a lot of things trending. But there's also a couple things detractors are putting out about Toby Keith. And that would be one of them. Dixie Chicks is trending because apparently Toby Keith was one of the people who was kind of, remember the Dixie Chicks went all liberal, and Toby Keith was kind of one of the people who really kind of dragged them for, voicing their political views. But whatever, I mean, you got to think about your audience. And in fact, there's this, for example, this person's saying, with the news of Toby Keith's death, let me remind y'all, he was the driving force behind the harassment of the Dixie Chicks. Oh, you mean they made some political views that maybe people didn't like, and so people said, we don't want to deal with them. But anyway, this is what they posted. Keith had a public feud with the Dixie Chicks over both the song and comments they made about President George W. Bush. The lead singer of the Dixie Chicks, Natalie Maines, publicly stated that the song was ignorant and it makes country music sound ignorant. Keith responded by belittling Maine's songwriting skills and displaying a backdrop at his concert showing the doctored photo of Maine's with Saddam Hussein. So, anyway, that was a very public feud. He also had a slight public feud with Chris Christopherson, who is also trending because, the haters got to post the things that they can hate with. And apparently there was an exchange where Christopherson kind of gave it to Keith about never serving or whatnot. So they posted that. So if you want to see all that, those links are in the chat. Also, now there's something trending that I have a great fear of even putting the topic on the screen. But another celebrity is trending, and that would be Drake. And I can't show you why he's trending, but I can give you kind of a metaphor of why he's trending. Hello, Reaccion Puerto Rico, you lovely island, the island of tropical breezes. Always the pineapple growing, always the coffee blossoms blowing. Anyway, Drake is trending. Again, I can't show you exactly why he's trending, but I can give you an idea of why he's trending, and this will tell you about this video. This video will tell you why Drake is trending. Okay, this is why Drake, the singer, rapper, whatever, this is why he's trending. Apparently, a photo of Drake leaked, and it's on the internet, and it's on X. I can't show it on YouTube, but apparently this kind of describes why Drake is trending. And that's not really far off. It's very look, I'm going to put it in the links to trending links today, and I'm just telling you, if I had to see it, you can choose whether or not you have to see it. I was just trying to figure out why he was trending, and I'm like, oh damn, what the god, damn. Okay, I'm not gonna look at that anymore. Look, if you want to feel inferior to Drake, just figure out why he's trending today. Okay, next, also trending, well, border, and that's the border bill, and that's really what we're going to talk about. Again, it's like Groundhog Day. We're going to talk about the border some more because there have been some development. Now, first, I wanted to show you something that President Biden tweeted yesterday, where, again, he talks about how we reached an agreement on a bipartisan national security deal that includes the toughest and fairest set of border reforms in decades. Yeah, man, I mean, real. I'm not kidding. It's no joke. For too long, going back decades, the immigration system has been broken. No, Joe, you broke it more and you made it worse. So anyway, did I say hi to Simon Wilkins yet? Yes, I did. I think I did. I'm just making sure. So he puts this out. This is, I'm gonna make it. I need to make this a little smaller. Where's center? Oh, that is center. Well, here I'm gonna make it bigger. So he says it's funny because now I'm looking at what he posted, and he said the bipartisan Senate National Security Agreement will introduce a presidential emergency authority to shut down the border when it becomes overwhelmed. That already existed. That he already had authority to do that. Make our asylum process fairer and more efficient while protecting the most vulnerable. Look, the easiest way to make the asylum process fair and more efficient is to reduce the number of cases by immediately deporting all the people that are not even eligible for asylum, which is 90% that you can know as soon as they walk through the door, but they're not doing that. So that's something he could have done without a border bill. The next one, expedite work permits so that those who are here can qualify to get work more quickly. Fuck you. No, we don't need to do that. You need to make it so that not so many are coming here illegally. Have them come through the normal process, and then it will be easier for them to get work more quickly. Do it the legal way. Oh, wait, no. So basically, you're just like giving them some kind of amnesty shit already to let them work when they already came here illegally. They already broke the law. No. Then he says, create more opportunities to unify families at various stages of immigration. Oh, now that sounds really good, because remember when the guy with the funny hair was in office, we were separating children from their family. We were so mean, right? Well, how are you going to unify families when the 85,000 children that came across the border, you don't know where they are? There's 85,000. They have no idea where they are. 85,000. How are you going to unify those families? And also, I don't know what he's saying here. Create more opportunities to unify families at various stages of immigration. What do you mean by various stages of immigration? You mean like people are coming here and they the family members supposedly are here and they... Oh, Mike, my favorite liberals here. What's up? Why are Republicans blocking the steal? And they wonder why they have a hard time winning elections. Because the deal is 100% bullshit, Mike. It's election year. Oh, we're going to do something. And then we can go back to our constituents and say, oh, we've done something. The Republicans are blocking it. It's a bullshit deal, Mike. And we'll get into that. So just listen up today and maybe you'll understand. Okay. It's a shitty deal. It absolutely is garbage. It's so funny. And I laughed when Kirsten Sinema was talking about it on Face the Nation the other day when she's saying, oh, no, it doesn't really let it 5,000 a day. No, it allows for an average of 5,000 days over every 7-day period. And if it goes over 35,000 in a 7-day period, then they supposedly shut it down and start deporting everybody immediately. But then again, they don't know where they're going to deport them to because they haven't made a deal with Mexico to send them back to Mexico because a large percentage, a high percentage of the people who are coming across are not from Mexico. So they can't just send them back to Mexico because the president of Mexico has already said, we haven't agreed to this yet. So there's the first part. Anyway, the deal is as conservative as it can get with a Democratic president. Said, no, it's not conservative at all. See, the idea that you're going to allow 5,000 people just to be, oh my God, Mike, 1.36 million illegal crossings a year is allowed under the deal. That's 3 times more than the average during the guy with the funny hair, or even more, 3.5 times more times than with Barack Obama. What are you talking about? It's not conservative. It's a boondoggle of a bill designed to take vulnerable senators like Sinema, like Chris Murphy, like Joe Manchin, like Mitt Romney, who are all up for re-election, to make it look like they actually did something about immigration after 3 years of complete neglect and bullshit of just catch and release of 7 million people. So there. Even rational, what is a rational Republican? What is a rational Republican? You mean the ones who are up for re-election in states where they're vulnerable, like Mitt Romney in Utah? All right, here we go. Then he says, ensures young children have paid legal representation. When has that not happened? When have we not provided lawyers and assistants for the children who are being trafficked over our border? They've been getting paid legal representation. That's not new either. All Border Patrol agents, I need to have Reaction on here and talk about this. And maybe if we can get Tom Homan. I really do want to get Tom Homan. Reaction, we're going to talk again. I'll talk to you today. All Border Patrol agents, immigration judges, asylum officers, and inspection machines to help stop the flow of fentanyl. Now, I thought they keep saying that the fentanyl that they've been catching has been coming through the ports of entry. I thought that's where it's coming. That was one of their arguments, right? That was one of their arguments. Oh, now all of a sudden that this will help stop the flow of fentanyl. And guess what? The adding of Border Patrol, the immigration judge is fine. All of this stuff that they're talking about could have been done in a separate bill, but somehow we're trying to tie it to Ukraine and Israel. Now, why wouldn't he agree to that on HB2? Because that was an HB2, right? But here's the thing: when he was telling that, if you have to pass this bill so I can close the border, blah blah blah. At the same time that he's suing Texas to take down the one effective thing that has been working, the razor wire and border floats. It's amazing. It's amazing how you talk out of one side of your mouth, but you do something completely different out of the other side of your mouth. The Border Patrol agents originally were there to stop people from crossing the border illegally. Now you've treated them as processing agents for asylum claims and making sandwiches. Okay? That's so, yes, we do need more Border Patrol agents. We do need more funding. But the way you're doing it in this particular bill is smoke and mirrors. And guess what? Some of the people who originally supported are figuring that out too. We'll get to that. So anyway, let's see here. Now again, Mike Lee was against this from the beginning. So I'm just going to make that perfectly clear. But here are some things in the border bill that that have been found. Why isn't that not showing up? There we go. Let's look at a few of the things that are interesting in here. Now the first one here, I'm not 100% true if this is correct. He says it codifies catch and release, which Kirsten Sinema vehemently disagrees with. Codifies catch and release. It gives the Secretary of Homeland Security unchecked authority to release an alien into the United States under ineffective alternatives to detention. The illegals only have to express credible fear of persecution or the intent to apply for protection determination. Now, again, I've been saying this earlier this week. They only need to know the word asylum, but now they need to know the words show credible fear. And they're being coached on this by NGOs and the cartels who are trafficking them on the other side of the border before they get here. That's why they don't come across also. I talked about this the other day because there was an article about it, about reporters on the other side of the border. And they're just finding like IDs, people's IDs littered all over around there. They're not crossing the border with IDs or passports, which also complicates the idea of, so they say, okay, if they're not a legitimate asylum claim, they're going to immediately send them back. They're going to send them home. Problem is, how do you send someone home who doesn't have a passport or an ID? That's the other part. Okay, we're going to send them all back home. Huh? How are you going to do that? You can't, Mexico doesn't want them if they're not from Mexico. And you're going to try to put them on a flight to a country where they have to go through customs in that country? Interesting. I wonder how that's going to work. So, anyway, let's go in here. Allows up to 1.8 million illegal aliens to enter before temporarily closing parts of the border. Now, this is a little off because the way they say it, they say if they average more than 5,000 a day. Okay, that would be 35,000 over a 7-day period. More than 35,000 over a 7-day period. Then they will say, well, nope, we're immediately going to stop processing. We're immediately going to send you back. Again, where are they going to send them back to if they're not from Mexico? Mexico doesn't want them if they're not from Mexico. And so that if it were the 35,000 every 7 days, yes, that would be 1.8 million. But they say that 1,400 of those that includes 1,400 to ports of entry and 3,600, which make up the 5,000 illegal entries, right? So technically, if they're coming through ports of entry and doing asylum claims at a port of entry, that's the legal way to do it. But they should be turned away if they're not, if they're not eligible for asylum. But that 3,600 of illegal entries, so that ends up being 1.6 million per year. Okay, again, that's 3 times more than the average over the guy with the funny hair, which got down to the lowest it could. Of course, that was during COVID, so I don't know if they count that. So anyway, loopholes. Oh, here it is. The Secretary of Homeland Security is only required to shut down the border if there are 5,000 average illegal crossings over a 7-day period, or 8,500 in a single day. The Secretary may shut down the border if crossings are at 4,000 daily average over a consecutive 7-day period. Now, that's what Kirsten Sinema is about. Oh, no, it's not 5,000, it's 4,000. Well, 4,000 is still 1.5 million people a year. And may, but they must if there's over 5,000. That's hilarious. So that's what she was talking about with the 4,000. She's like, well, it's not really 5,000, it's 4,000. Well, that says listen to me. Let's say Alejandro Mayorkas remains on as the Department of Homeland Security head. Do you think he's going to shut down the border if the crossings are at 4,000 daily average just because he may do that? Hell no. That's a joke. Anyway, then the secretary, even during a border emergency, this bill requires the administration to process a minimum of 1,400 illegal migrants a day. This is 400 more per day than Obama's DH Secretary Jay Johnson said in a crisis in 2019. So you're already, even just the ones who come through a port of entry and claim asylum, and then you process it, and you realize, oh, well, only about 3% of them are actually asylum seekers. And so they're sending everybody back. You're still required to process 1,400 a day. The loopholes does not count any accompanied alien children from non-contiguous countries, suspected trafficking victims, aliens who are determined exempted based on decisions by ICE, or aliens who meet the screening requirement for asylum. It also allows for the reopening of the border once encounters are at 75% of the number that caused the shutdown. So if the number was 10,000 per day, it only has to be reduced to 7,500 in a day to reopen. Holy shit. Limited duration limits the number of days each year when authority to shut down the border can't be in place. 270 days in the first calendar year, 225 days in the second calendar year, 180 days in the third year. The period that this border shutdown is mandatory decreases in year 1. The first 90 days are mandatory. In year 2, the first 75 days are mandatory. In the year 3, only the first 60 days are mandatory. It's incredibly, it's just one of these things that only a person in Congress could write. It's embarrassing. And also, all of this stuff, presidential discretion allows the president to reopen the border at any time it is in the national interest to temporarily suspend the border emergency authority for up to 45 days. Guess what? Everything that they're planning here in this bill is already authorized within the immigration laws we have. We could do this. You could do this without a bill. It's amazing. The president has authority to do all of this, but instead they're just catch and release processing. It's amazing. It's amazingly crazy. Subsidizes free taxpayer-funded legal counsel to illegal aliens. Orders the Secretary of Health and Human Services to ensure that all unaccompanied alien children who are or have been in the custody of the Secretary of Health and Human Services or the Secretary of Homeland Security have counsel to represent them in legal proceedings. They already have that. That's been that way for how long? It's been that way for years. That's not new. That's the American legal system. Even if you're an illegal alien, you have right to counsel. Now, maybe they need to spend more money on getting more counsel since there's more cases. But the idea that this is new. And then let's see, have counsel to represent them in legal proceedings and free legal counsel for any illegal alien who a judge determined is mentally incompetent. Mandates that the government provide legal counsel for UACs 13 years old and under. And again, a lot of non-governmental agencies are also providing counsel for these people. So it's not like they're not being represented when they go into these court hearings. It's like the redundancy is uncanny in this. Increases now, and then expands parole instead of limiting it. Does nothing meaningfully to limit President Biden's abuse of parole. The language makes a fake exemption that seems to sanction Mayorkas' current abuse of parole. Under this bill, Mayorkas can parole in all of these groups with the implicit approval of Congress. It also creates a dangerous expansion of parole, saying it can now be granted for anyone the DHS security determines has an urgent humanitarian reason to stay and any culturally important purpose, warning aliens' presence in the United States on tribal land located at or near the international land border. Now, it's interesting because, Mike, if you stop insulting people, don't insult Mike, just let him run with whatever he's saying. I don't care. But let's not get into an insult fest with each other, okay? I don't like that shit. All right. Increases green cards by 50,000 per year for 5 years. This includes 32,000 family-based green cards and 18,000 employment-based green cards. Hurts American workers by importing cheap foreign labor. Look, if you were just doing just regular immigration reform, you decided you're going to increase the number of green cards, that's something that could happen anyway. So I'm not, that doesn't bother me, except the fact that now they're trying to fast track people who come here illegally to be able to work here. Now, that should be just a fuck around and find out moment, if you ask me. And does that sound cruel and usual? Yeah, probably does, but I don't care. Work permit for adult children of H-1 visa holders. Hurts American workers by providing indefinite work permits to an estimated 250,000 adult children of H-1B, what did I say? H-1B non-immigrant visa holders who will be competing for jobs with recent college graduates. Immediate work permits to every illegal release from custody after they pass an initial screening. Current law requires 6 months waiting period after filing an asylum claim before you can apply for a work permit. Under this bill, applicants are granted an immediate work permit if they pass the initial asylum credible fear screening. Again, using the credible fear standard, or excuse me, credible, not incredible, it's incredible, the credible fear standard. How do you determine someone's credible fear? Okay, let's take it for example. Over the last couple of years, 31,000 Chinese nationals of military age have crossed our border through Mexico. Now, clearly, they are not eligible for asylum in this country under the current laws or by any stretch of the imagination, right? So, in this bill, let's take this just the Chinese nationals or anywhere from who had to take a flight to Mexico to get to America's welcome mat, okay? They say, okay, well, first of all, let's say the ones that your asylum claim, well, it's not eligible. We got to send you back. Where are they going to send them back to? Send them back to Mexico? Nope. China's not going to, or Mexico's not going to take them. So we're going to fly them all back to China, right? Oh, wait. But now they say they have a credible fear. Who determines what a credible fear is? It's very, very interesting. It's very interesting. Nothing to deport illegals. Does not require the president or secretary of Homeland Security to deport anyone. And that's one of the things that Kristen Sinema kept saying on Face of the Nation. Well, no, we're going to deport them. We're going to deport them. We're going to deport the ones that aren't, we're going to deport the ones who are not eligible for asylum. But there's nothing in the bill that says that they have to do that. That's the other part. Again, they're getting more Border Patrol patients, more Border Patrol agents so they can process more people faster, but no requirement to deport the ones who aren't eligible. It's not in the bill. Then there's the Afghan Adjustment Act, creates a pathway to citizenship for over 60,000 poorly vetted Afghans who were brought to the country due to President Biden's disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan. Yeah, they've already been talking about that. Weakens asylum screening by codifying Biden policy, codifies Biden asylum officer regulation, empowers USCIS asylum officers to grant asylum, withholding removal and protection under the Convention Against Torture without review by an immigration judge, ensuring significant higher approval rates. And then finally, the last one he has on here, no immediate funding for the wall. So they're not going to actually, there's no funding in the bill for prevention of illegal crossings. They're not adding any funny to the wall, any smart tracking, cameras, whatever. Nothing for that. So it's pretty amazing. Again, but does it look like they're doing something? Oh, I'm going to go back to Kirsten Sinema is going to go back to Arizona. Well, see, we put this great package where we're gonna stop the illegal crossing of the border. We're gonna do the border, and unfortunately, those Republicans, those MAGA extremist Republicans, wouldn't allow us to do this. They really just wanted this as an election, a campaign issue. You've created the campaign issue. Joe Biden has created the campaign issue by his absolute incompetence and Mayorkas's incompetence and all the Democrats cheering on the incompetence of these assholes. It's amazing to me. Good morning, number one. Nice to see you. All right. So let's go through the different people who are talking about this. So, and I'll go to MSNBC first. Obviously, MSNBC tends to be left-leaning, so we'll do MSNBC first. And we'll just put them in line first. As a compromise border plan collapses, by the way, it is collapsing. It is. Oh, shoot. I got to do these other articles. All right, I'm going to make this quick. I'll finish up with the articles that Gunfox and Tyre sent me. Do not let me forget that. I'll probably do that at the bottom of the hour. So here we have MSNBC. As a compromise border plan collapses, the GOP is in disarray. Now, granted, yes, the uniparty types, Romney and even Mitch McConnell, are kind of scrambling right now. Let's hear how MSNBC characterizes this, though. There can be little doubt that one of the major American political parties is in disarray, and it's not the Democratic Party. Well, especially in fundraising, the Republicans are. Good morning, Hypnagogic Monk, by the way. For those familiar with the online political commentary, the phrase Dems in disarray has long been a popular cliche, usually used in tongue-in-cheek fashion, intended to poke fun at internal divisions within the Democratic Party's coalition and pundits' preoccupation with occasional fissures. Oh, you mean like Israel and Hamas? Nearly 6 years ago, the New York Times' David Leonhardt explained, quote, "The joke appears to date from a 2005 West Wing episode that included the fictional cover of Time magazine with the phrase. It received new life thanks to a March 2006 New Yorker piece by Hendrik Hertzberg, the first two paragraphs of which each began ironically, 'The Democrats are in disarray.' Sure enough, those disarrayed Democrats retook the House of Representatives later that year. Yes, they did. Years later, there can be little doubt that one of the major American political parties is in disarray, but it's not the Democratic Party. NBC News reported overnight, quote, "In a striking turn of events, Senate Republicans threatened Monday to block a major bipartisan package of border security measures and asylum restrictions." Now, they love calling this a bipartisan package of border security measures and asylum restrictions. Just one day after their chief negotiator signed off on it, GOP senators left a special closed-door meeting in the evening predicting that their party would not provide enough votes to move forward with the package Wednesday, saying they agreed they need more time to discuss changes to the bill in the form of amendments. Yes, there's going to be amendments, and there should be amendments on several parts of it, which Mike Lee so gladly highlighted. In other words, Republican senators demanded that Democrats agree to a compromise package on border security and foreign aid. Democrats did as GOP asked, and now Republicans are poised to reject the legislation they asked for. You do realize in these negotiations, I'm pretty sure that there were things that Democrats objected to, and probably it's not just the Republicans or Democrats who are compromising. If it were just the Democrats, they wouldn't do anything. They don't give a shit about this. They like the way it is. Joe Biden, the team Biden, the puppet master crew. This is what they want. That's why it's the way it is right now. But they realize that the American people are seeing this, that Democrat mayors in Chicago and New York are bitching about how it's going. Because it wasn't going like this when the guy with the funny hair was here. And all these sanctuary cities are being overwhelmed. And they see that, oh my gosh, even in South Bronx and South Side of Chicago, the melanated people are revolting against your sorry asses. So now you have to put together some kind of bill that makes it look like you're doing something. And if you're a senator from Arizona and you haven't tried to fix this problem, you better come up with a bill quick and make a website so everyone thinks you've done something. And if you're a senator from Utah who generally looks like someone who really just wants to go along to get along, you better look like you're actually doing something so you can be vocal and complain, oh, this is Trump trying to this and that, blah, 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 because they see it too. Oh, and if you're a senator from Oklahoma who's not up for re-election right away, well, you can get away with doing these uniparty bullshit bills, and maybe hopefully your constituents will forget about it by the time you're up for re-election in 2 years. So don't give me that shit. It's a bill that's received the backing of Senate GOP's top official, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, no longer, as well as several entities aligned with Republican politics, including the U.S. Border Patrol Union, the U.S. Chamber of Congress, and the editorial page of the Wall Street Journal. Are you sure about that? The union leadership or the actual rank and file members of the Border Patrol? You might want to check yourself on that one. I know a few people who work for the Border Patrol are like, this shit's crazy. Most GOP senators apparently don't care. Assessing the package's legislative prospects, Politico said the bill is teetering on the brink of collapse, while a Washington Post analysis added that was quick, barely 24 hours after the release of the much maligned Senate border deal. It appears to be all but dead. If that was the only major development unfolding in Republican politics, it would certainly hint as a healthy dose of disarray. After all, it's not every day in which the party members make a major demand about an issue they claim to care about, it, then get their way, and then kill the legislation they said they wanted to after their own leader endorsed it. Hey, morons. All of these Republicans who are up for re-election need to make it look like they're doing something too. Just because you wrote a bill doesn't mean it has to pass. If it's a shitty bill, then you shouldn't support it. If it doesn't have, if it doesn't meet the needs of other people who are going to vote on it, you might want to figure that out and do some amendments. This is the normal process. How is this disarray? I don't get it. They already said that it's not going to pass the House. There's DOA, the way it's written. So maybe they need to fix it, or maybe go back to HB 2, the House bill on this same topic, a single issue bill, and maybe hammer out some of the provisions in that first. Then we can all try to see if we can get Democrats to go along with it. Because it's not the Republicans who fucked things up so far. It's the guy with sponge braid shit pants in the White House. Thank you, GunFox61. Another Hamilton in the tip jar. Thank you, sir.
You are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day.
Rains and mud, at least 3 dead in California. Oh, yeah, there's major flooding in California. I got to call my mother. Fortunately, my sisters live in the hills, so they're not affected by it. But my mother lives in Long Beach. I don't know how bad it is down there. I know the middle of Los Angeles has had much trouble. Hello, Renee Mayette. How you doing? All right. Anyway, so it's MSNBC, Mad Up Block. Of course, they're going to say this is all terrible for the Republicans. Of course they are. Now, let's go to the bright part. Mitch McConnell, this is the news. Mitch McConnell turns against the border bill, made a shocking decision to recommend Republicans block the advancement of the Senate pro-migration border bill. That's editorial on Breitbart's part, calling it a pro-migration border bill. How about just calling it what it is, the border bill? But don't use the name because the name itself is propagandistic. The first procedural vote was set for Wednesday. It is unknown Majority Leader Chuck Schumer will forge ahead, although that is likely. Yeah, he wants to jam this through because, again, he wants to make it look like Democrats are doing something. But, yeah, okay, Democrats, please go ahead and pass this really bad border bill and watch it get just destroyed in the House. McConnell cited the overwhelming number of Senate Republicans planning to vote against the measure, either on substance or because they wanted more time, according to Punchbowl News. That's the other thing. So what I don't know, maybe Chuck, the smarmy prick from New York, Schumer, maybe he wants to push this through because he wants to get it through before primary season, right? Again, it's election year. He needs this. The Democrats need this. Joe Biden needs this to make it look like he actually did something when he really didn't do shit. So anyway, Mitch McConnell has decided against it. What are the tweets they have here? Langford. Oh, here it is. Langford. Oh my gosh, the senator for Republican, who's the lead sponsor from the Republican side of the bill. Langford said he anticipates the supplemental won't pass Wednesday. Langford won't say if he'll vote to advance his own bill. The biggest issue that I have is obviously I got a lot of members that have questions on it. It's not going to move and become law if we try to be able to force it down everyone's up. I should say force it up everyone's ass, basically. So that's a procedural. So they're not going to move it forward if they can't find anyone to support it in the House, and they got a lot of work to do. Schumer wanted this done by this week. And so he can send it to the House, and the House rejects it, and then they have a Democrat win, and the Republicans are blocking it because they don't really want border security. They just want an issue. No, they want a bill that actually means something, and this one sucks. Also in Breitbart, Chuck Schumer warns. Now, here's Chuck Schumer. He warns that U.S. troops will be sent to Russia if the border bill is not passed. This smarmy prick. I hate this motherfucker. Here it is.
We're at a turning point in America. This bill is crucial, and history will look back on it and say, did America fail itself? Why is it crucial? Well, if we don't aid Ukraine, Putin will walk all over Ukraine. We will lose the war, and we could be fighting in Eastern Europe.
Whoa. What did he just say? Did y'all catch that? Did you all catch that? Who will lose the war?
Ukraine. Putin will walk all over Ukraine. We will lose the war.
What's this we shit, white man? We? Who the fuck is we? Who the fuck is we, Chuck? You've got one corrupt autocrat fighting another corrupt autocrat. We're doing this for democracy? What the fuck are you talking about? Zelensky has, banned all opposition parties. He's banned the second largest church in Ukraine. He's even canceled the elections in March. What democracy are we fighting for? What democracy are we fighting for? Look, that area is still all surrounded by other NATO countries. Ukraine's not a NATO country. Now, what? We who? Holy shit.
And we could be fighting in Eastern Europe in a NATO ally in a few years.
Really? Why? A NATO ally? Well, if it was a NATO ally, then we have an obligation to go fight, right? Do you think Russia wants that right now, especially after a lot of their military has been depleted? We're not going to be fighting against Russia. You scared tactic bitch motherfucker. Oh my God, I'm swearing up a storm. I'm swearing, aren't I? I've been swearing. I didn't even realize it. Holy shit.
Americans won't like that. If we don't help Israel defend itself against Hamas, that perpetual war will go on and on and on.
No, it won't. No, it won't. Hamas is almost gone by now. Look, God, you are such a lying prick. Oh my God, unbelievable.
If we don't help humanitarian aid to the starving Palestinians in Gaza, hundreds of thousands could starve.
So if we don't send billions of dollars to both sides in that conflict, we'll have billions of dollars to spend on the border. What are you talking about? I'm like, oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. What happened there? Why is my full screen messed up? Oh, that's weird. How'd that happen? Holy shit.
And the border. Everyone has said it's chaos. A speaker, you just saw Speaker Johnson. He said it's chaos. We have to do something legislative a few months ago. But what is...
We have to do something legislative. But what oh my God. Hang a second here. Let me see if I can fix this. What? How did that happen? Holy shit. Hang on a second here. Please excuse me while I do some what do you call it? Background work here. Apologize for this, but I don't know why how this happened. Let's make it so you can fit the shit on the screen. Jeez. What is going on here? All right, there we go. Let's try this. Oh, wait, what the hell? I apologize for the delay here, but I need to fix this because it's driving me nuts. Dun, 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 dun. There we go. And now, why is this? What the hell? Come on, work. There we go. All right. Let's try this. That should be a little better. Hey, that's the full screen. Okay, there we go.
Happened and answer your question. So this is crucial for America. It's a turning point. History is going to look over our shoulders and say, did we rise to the occasion? To his credit, Mitch McConnell did. But too many Republicans, including Speaker Johnson, are just scared to death of Donald Trump. Donald Trump has said he wants chaos.
This has nothing to do with Donald Trump. This has everything to do with Joe Biden's dereliction of duty. Everything in the border bill that he's claiming, hello, Ron Course, by the way, everything in the border bill could be done without a bill. He has the power to do that. The immigration is almost, and the Supreme Court's done it more than once, is almost fully under the supervision of the executive branch. And the laws that we have right now, everything that they want to do is absolutely we're capable of within the laws we have right now. But listen to Chuck's scaremongering. Oh my God, your kids may have to go to fight Russia. if we don't pass this bill as is. Notice he's not, it's like, you mean you can't, you have to do this right now. They've called this emergency legislation. They changed it from, this border package to emergency national security legislation. And look, Ukraine, yeah, you might have to, look, we don't want people dying in Ukraine, but if you're going from one corruptocrat or the other, what's the difference? They're not part of NATO. Why do we tie our boat to Ukraine so heavily? Well, I forgot a lot of big name people in the United States government have some big time financial ties to Ukraine, and we have plenty of money to launder for our defense industry. How about that?
Us. Donald Trump has said, well, wait till I become president. That'll take at least a year. Ukraine could be gone. The border will get...
Why would it be gone? And the border what?
Much worse.
Wait, what was he going to say? The border might get much worse?
War.
Guess what? The president of the United States has the power to do emergency actions on the border to close it down and do all the shit that you're putting in this bill. There's nothing stopping him from doing that within the law right now. So you're just talking out of your ass, Chuck.
The Middle East will get worse, maybe bringing us into it. He's doing it all for political reasons. And let me just...
What the hell does this have to do with... And again, the Middle East, you don't think Israel can handle its own right now? You might have to worry about what's going on with Iran. That has nothing to do with aiding Israel. Israel's doing just fine without us. I'm sorry. They have money to buy the weapons that they need, and certainly they are kicking Hamas's ass to Sunday. I can't listen to his ass anymore. Anyway, that's Chuck Schumer. And then Trump calls the border bill a trap for Republicans, telling them don't be stupid. Former President Donald Trump slammed the Senate bipartisan bill on Monday, calling it a trap set by Democrats for Republicans. Senators released the final version of the long-awaited border bill Sunday afternoon. The bill will likely face a full Senate vote soon, maybe not, but it's unclear whether it will pass, especially as it continues to bleed Republican support. Only a fool or a radical left Democrat would vote for this horrendous border bill, which only gives shutdown authority after 5,000 encounters a day. No, not even 5,000 encounters a day, an average of 5,000 encounters over a 7-day period. So you have to go up over 35,000 in a 7-day period to make this, the automatic supposed shutdowns to even go into effect. Well, do you think that the cartels and all the traffickers can't count to 35,000 over a 7-day period? Holy shit. You think they're stupid. Hello, T2 and Andrew Thorsten. So, anyway, Trump's against it. We know that. Also, now, and of course, Nikki Haley chimes in saying, well, irresponsible Republicans killing border bill to help Trump. That's a Democrat talking point. It's a garbage bill, but no surprise from Nikki Haley, who's in the Mitt Romney, John McCain wing of the Republican Party. Dipshit. And also Speaker Johnson, we know he's against it. There's several articles here. I'm not going to go through them one by one. And also House Republican leaders have declared the Senate establishment migration bill, which again, that is editorial language from Breitbart, okay? But from my standpoint, that is what it is. It's establishment, continue the migration, but it look like it's more orderly bill. That's basically what it is to me. And so I don't disagree with the characterization by Breitbart, but it is an editorial statement. That's not a news statement. And also Kirsten Sinema, we showed her trying and failing to defend the bipartisan border bill. Of course, she says the chief architect, Sinema, who's up for re-election in Arizona, a state that is really concerned about this immigration policy, said that she was chief architect of the bipartisan border deal. Republicans everywhere have been verbally disemboweling since the text first came out. Of course, the border deal is anything but legitimately awful, but it hasn't stopped Senator Sinema and others like James Langford of Oklahoma from trying to say we're reading it wrong, and it's actually not that bad. Thank you, Blackout8879, dropping a small bullet in the tip jar. It says, by the way, thank you. The problem is the people in government grew up during the Red Scare and McCarthyism. They fear the great Russian bear BS that isn't even a thing anymore. Russia can't win a war. Putin can't fight, think, or make someone suicide his way out of a paper bag. You know, thank you very much, by the way. If Russia's having this much trouble with Ukraine, with all the aid that they're getting from us and Europe and everywhere else around that, in that part of the world, do you really think they could take on the entire NATO alliance? Huh? Right? Exactly. Thank you, Blackout. So anyway, like, for example, this is one of the things she was saying on Face the Nation. So saying that the 5,000 migrants a day does not mean 5,000 people are allowed to cross, but instead refers to migrant encounters, as in, this is not what she was saying. She was saying that, she said that they were misinterpreting the 5,000 crossing a day cap. And also the taxpayer-funded lawyers for migrants, the work permit issuance, and whether or not the White House can contain the border crisis on its own without the need for Congress. For instance, the 5,000 migrants a day does not mean 5,000 people are allowed to cross, but instead refers to migrant encounters, as in, if Border Patrol encounters 5,000 migrants per day over a week-long period, again, it has to be an average over 7 days. So it has to be more than 35,000 in a 7-day period. Then the border is closed till the numbers drop back down, and catch and release is prohibited. The whole taxpayer-funded lawyer for migrants only goes to unaccompanied alien children, as if this is somehow an improvement. Okay, there's a merit to this one because of how often these children are victims of human trafficking, but even then, shutting the border down completely will be a much easier solution. And then she's trying to sell it. You can read that shit yourself. And then in the Federalist Senate's atrocious border bill, where everyone gets asylum. Now, that's not necessarily true, but the asylum reform is absolutely empty promises. It truly is. Because, again, the standard of if they have legitimate fear, well, they could just say they have legitimate fear. I mean, what? Who determines that? It's just amazing. So, and a supposed asylum, the supposed improvement is the asylum claims are to be completed expeditiously. That will be the law within 90 days. But the Senate includes a squishy to the maximum extent practicable. So, weasel words, to the 90-day timetable. That's assuming the alien who recall is non-custodial does not abscond, meaning they're not going to hold anyone. They just have to be, it has to be done in 90 days, but they're not in custody. So what if they just say, fuck it? Oh, I agree to that. See ya. We'll go beat up a cop in New York and then get free transportation to Los Angeles. You won't even find us. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of things in this article too. I'm going to skip it. And then also the Senate border bill would allow foreign fiancés, spouses of Americans to work in the country immediately. The new border security and immigration bill introduced in the Senate on Sunday would allow foreign spouses, fiancés, and fiancées of U.S. citizens to automatically work in the country legally. So let's say, I'm a brother from, Senegal, and I cross the southern border of Mexico, and I say, well, I'm here because I need asylum, and oh, by the way, I have a fiance in Portland, Oregon. I will automatically be able to work in the United States, even if I cross the border illegally. I mean, it's just all these articles are going through some of the craziest of the loopholes, and then this article in the Federalist just talks about 65 times Biden gutted border security since the White House, all the little action that he's taken, and pretty much every month, multiple times a month, he's done things that have basically undermined everything that he's saying that he wants done here. It's hilarious. It's fucking hilarious. So let me move on. I'm going to finish up with the articles that people sent me. There are several other articles though. Here we'll go through here. A horrific video shows woman dragged along New York City street by migrant moped gangs, linked to dozens of brazen attacks and 62 grand larcenies. I'm not going to show it because that's not for YouTube fare. Also, the largest growing group of nationals that are crossing our borders, are Chinese nationals. The Chinese learned about a gap by Tijuana through TikTok. Yeah, they're using TikTok. The migrants are using TikTok to find out where the newest places to cheat to get into the border are. 60 Minutes said the somewhat quieter part out loud. Chinese nationals are the fastest growing group of people crossing the U.S.-Mexico border. I say somewhat because we have highlighted this news a few times in 2023. So there's a gap that exists in Southern California, Mexico border near Jacumba Hot Springs, California, located 60 miles east of San Diego. The locals named the gap the San Judas Break. Quite a few of the Chinese nationals came from middle class. They arrived with roller bags filled with clothes and other items. One national took 40 days to arrive at the border. Thailand, Morocco, Ecuador, Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica, and Nicaragua. Many chose to fly to Ecuador. So they're flying, basically, okay, now I've figured it out. They're not just flying to Mexico. They're flying to these countries in Southern and Central America. And then they're just traveling with the migrants. And so all these foreign nationals, it's a fucking tourist industry. And some of these people are paying $35,000 a pop to smugglers to get them here. It's amazing. Now this one says, and then this spot, or not to smugglers, but in general, this one says they paid smugglers $400 for the hour-long drive to the gap at the border. The nationals know about the gap from TikTok, which also has posts with tips about smugglers and directions. So yes, TikTok is being used to circumvent the law in the United States. Whistleblower reveals how migrants get free hotel, food, healthcare, tablets, Ubers, and more. This is in Massachusetts, where they are just giving them everything they need to have a nice, comfortable life here in the United States. It's you got to read it to believe it. Let's see, Democrats. Oh, this is a whole different article. Okay, there's a bunch of other articles I'm not getting to. I want to get to the articles that Gunfox and Tyre sent me. We'll start with this one here. This is also MSNBC, the mess. Let's see. Let me make this a little bigger here. Let's see. There. No, that don't work. I guess not. I can't do it. Well, there we go. D.C. Circuit Panel has ruled against Trump's immunity claim. The decision can be further appealed through the Supreme Court. At stake is whether and when the federal election interference trial goes forward. So they're worried about a schedule, and Trump's worried about getting full legal, justice within the law. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit ruled against Donald Trump's immunity claim in the federal election interference case. For the purpose of this criminal case, former President Trump has become Citizen Trump with all of the defenses of any other criminal defendant, but any executive immunity that may have protected him while he served as president no longer protects him against this prosecution. The D.C. Circuit Panel wrote Tuesday. Now, this is interesting because the three-judge panel, how can you, that's interesting. Because the actual election interference happened, supposedly, while he was president. So it's interesting that they're saying you can't protect him for something he did while he was president if it was within the purview of his job. That's an interesting ruling. Trump can appeal the three-judge panel's ruling to the full D.C. Circuit and then to the Supreme Court, which has discretion over whether to take the case. The case has been paused at the trial court level during immunity appeal. If Trump wins the presidential election in November, if he's eligible, which is the subject of a pending high court appeal, he's all but guaranteed to quash the prosecution, whether by virtue of gaining control over the government that charged him or even a self-pardon. He's also charged federally in Florida and in state courts in Georgia and New York and has pleaded not guilty to all the charges. Now, they're saying that this is absurd. The absurdity of Trump's immunity claim was well known before the January 9th panel hearing in Washington, but it was there that the former president's lawyer effectively conceded that a win for his position would allow presidents to order the murder of their political opponents. See, now, if he did say that, I don't believe it. I don't believe he said that, because that's not what the immunity appeal is about, is it? I'm going to have to talk to some lawyers, I guess, because my understanding is they're saying the immunity of actions he took as president. You can't murder somebody as a president. Okay, that would definitely be against the law. It's interesting. Okay, so anyway, the lawyer for Special Counsel Jack Smith argued that endorsing Trump's immunity position could lead to a frightening future. Okay, that's all that's it. Okay, that's everything in that article. And then Tyre sent me this one, and this is a perfect one to end the show in because I'm going to go throw up afterwards. A pre-K teacher attacks the idea of childhood innocence, claims toddler not too young for sexuality discussion. William Willie Villapando called the idea of childhood innocence a mythology. A pre-kindergarten teacher and early childhood professor repeatedly attacked the idea of childhood innocence and claimed that early childhood teachers should introduce children to gender ideology at the youngest ages. William Willie Villapando works at Santa Ana College in California, where he teaches early child development. He also indicated on his Instagram that he is a pre-kindergarten educator. Well, I can find or rent a pre-kindergarten educator wood chipper. Fox News found documentation that Villapando worked at the Rialto Unified School District pre-K division from 2016 through at least June 2021, the latest state California updated teacher records. It was unclear whether Villapando continued to work at the district for the 2022-23 academic year, and they refused to respond. When Fox News reached out to Villapando Rialto's district email address, it was not returned to sender. In 2020, Villapando called the idea of childhood innocence an example of mythology. There is a common mythology that children live in this world of pure innocence, and that by introducing them or exposing them to the real world, adults are somehow shatter this illusion for them. Therefore, there is a banning of topics and issues that children should not be exposed to, as if they are not experiencing them already. Oh, this is interesting. I'm sure this is just oh, good God. This motherfucker. He went on to attack the idea that children shouldn't be exposed to sexuality, claiming that such a view is very white.
You're fucking a white male!
Christian, upper class, cisgendered, and heterocentric. Not talking about queerness in the classroom is not letting children be children. It's telling those people they do not deserve to exist, he said in September 2021. Kids are never too young to talk about sexuality. Really? I don't know. I'm pretty sure that my soon-to-be 2-year-old granddaughter doesn't need to be talking about it because she's still learning how to talk. And your nuts would not stand my size 14 boot. Now he says, let's work to deconstruct some of our own biases. Adults incorrectly link discussions on sexuality and gender as equating to discussions about sex. If you're talking about sexuality, doesn't that mean who you're fucking? Maybe. You know, that like the rainbow flag. Basically, it's just saying that, hey, I might have sex with someone other than what's the baby making machinery, right? Isn't that what the rainbow flag is? It's basically just an indicator that you might be stripping somebody else, something else, right? That's sexuality. That's holy shit. He said in November 2022 podcast of Rainbow Parenting that, quote, we have so many people who tell us that this is inappropriate stuff we can talk about. And I'm so like, hey, no, we can talk about this. The teacher went on to say that if parents didn't have the conversation with kids, it was up to the teachers to foster classroom environments that they make that may make others uncomfortable. Okay, dipshit. They are not your kids. Fuck you. Capiche? Oh, fuck. Children who are exposed to environments with more fluid understandings of gender are more likely to understand that gender is fluid. That's circular reasoning and very confusing to children. Why would you want to confuse kids more than they already are? He added that educators should talk to little kids about queerness, even if the parents have avoided the topic. Okay. I just want, okay, let me. Hey, Johnny. You're going to need a 3XL wood chipper. Ty, are you still here? Hi, Evan S. How you doing? Yeah, keep your gender fluid away from my children and my grandchildren and any children, for that matter. Ty, if you're still here, yes, I hate you. And I'll be back tomorrow, guys. Thanks for joining me on the Morning Night Live. I'll be here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, roughly. And that's it. Hi. Holy shit. Holy shit. Well, I hope you all have a wonderful day. My name is P-Dog Knight. I'll put the links in the outro in the chat and whatnot. I'm P-Dog Knight and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Have a great day. Tyra, I hate you. Hey, this is P-Dog Knight, and thank you for watching today on the P-Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P-Dog Knight, and I'm out of here.